So I'm going to walk through this distillery that I made last night. It's not complete, but I've got a couple things to add here. Right here is the hopper that sucks in items. I'll put a trunk in front of it so it can suck up the items that I need. It's going to go ahead and run it along that belt there up into the lift. Brings it upstairs to what I call the sorting floor. Got the power that runs everything. Everything that is created from this distillery will go straight into the workshop via that workshop storage. This is the actual auto distillery. This is in the workshop, the manufacturing extended mod. I also have the manufacturing extended updated mod. Adds a couple other little things to it. Got our control center here. Everything that can be made will be switched on in that terminal, and all of our switches to make each individual item. The wiring is kind of a mess, but as you can see here, there is lots of different conduits on the wall and the ceiling. Those actually go to the hoppers themselves. Each hopper is controlled individually on their own power line, except for the first 3 hoppers, which are shared items for everything that is made. You got your glass, your purified water, and your steel to make the bottles. I'll go ahead and go upstairs. As you can see, my elevator glitched there, so I'm going to actually, here in just a moment, remove the elevator and place it back. I don't know exactly how this happened, but the elevator, unfortunately, is the primary method of getting up and down. There is no stairs anywhere in this building, and I realize that's kind of a pain in the butt for me, but nonetheless, that's how I designed this building. You'll see me here trying to figure out why it won't work. I'll pick it up, turn it around, doesn't do anything for me. I'll think about running around and changing my jump height, jumping up there because I have a little balcony up there, but then I realized, well, there's no way to get to the elevator, which is the only way to the second floor. So give me just a moment here and I'll pick this up and start messing around with it. As you can see, this does not work. So I'll go ahead and store it in the warehouse and place it back down. Now Skeleton, he was on the floor, the ground floor of the Starlight Drive-In when I was building this place, and he kind of floated himself up to the floor where you see him now. I can't get rid of him, unfortunately. There's another one towards the back of the facility, and occasionally I'll hear the bones rattling, and it drives me up the wall, but there's nothing I can really do about it. I didn't anticipate cleaning up anything while I was building the building foundations before I started, so. And there's the elevators placed back down. It's a 4-floor elevator. I haven't done anything with the 3rd and 4th floor just yet. As you can see also from the outside of the building, they are a little bit smaller than the 1st and 2nd floor. I might actually set them up to produce some of the materials that I need to do this, some of the food items. But here's the hoppers. As you can see, they're each individually wired to a conduit, run across the floor. In my ammunition facility, I actually ran the conduits along the ceiling. It was really difficult to actually run the conduits because the second they're not straight, they all go cockeyed on you. As you can see, some of them did that here. I haven't put any items in the sorters, but the second I put one item of what goes into that individual hopper, it will sort only that item. Now at the very end of this sorting chain here, you'll see that I did put a warehouse storage container. That will drop everything that doesn't get used back into the warehouse. Now with this facility, I don't plan on putting anything in there that doesn't get used. I will bring only the items that it's needed to make the different drinks that you can make. Here's the electrical wiring. You can see it's a bit of a mess, but it does get the job done. Each hopper has their own line except for the first 3, because everything uses glass, steel, and purified water. So you'll see the glass, steel, and purified water is on one line. That's just to save a little bit of space there when it comes to the wiring. Now, I could have used some of the wiring glitches or the rug glitch, which you place a sign, but if you place a sign and put a conduit on top of it, that sign stays. So keep that in mind. You try to remove that sign and the conduit will disappear. So a little bit different than the dropping a rug and sliding something around on the floor, then you can remove the rug out from underneath it. That power line there runs the sorting machines. I can keep the sorting machines on at all times while the hoppers are closed. So that way I can go drop what I need into the trunk that gets sucked up into the sorting machine. As you can see here, I labeled what hopper does what. You got your tarberry there, your mute fruit there. First one was melon, that's nuclear material. And that's how I determine what is what. You'll see the same type of labeling over there. Now I haven't, like I said, set up the sorting machines, but with those labels on the individual connectors there, I can actually follow those lines to whatever hopper they go to, flip over to the other side, drop one item into the sorting machine for that individual hopper, and voila. So it's a pretty simple design. I could have made it a little bit cleaner if I would have spent a lot more time, but as it is, it took about 6-7 hours to build this facility here. The ammunition plant took about 6-7 hours as well, but that was also my first large production plant, and I learned a lot in the initial build of the ammunition plant that helped me a lot when it came to this facility here. So I threw in a Nuka-Cola mixer there because I'm making Nuka-Colas and stuff. These 2 conduits there were set there because I couldn't reach the other conduits from the ceiling. The same with those 4. Pretty basic setup though. It's not 100% tested just yet. I haven't actually ran anything through it, but based on the ammunition plant, it should be good to go. So I hope some of the information that I shared with you in this video was helpful. I do plan on making a lot more. I was looking into plans to make a pharmaceutical company. Unfortunately, that would take a lot more ingenuity. I would definitely have to use some of the rug and maybe pillar glitches as well in order to do that. Based on the fact that the hoppers can't really, they snap together, but you can't snap them to the point where they will interact with 2 rows of these hoppers here. So making a facility that can produce 22 different items, which is required for every item in the chem station that you can build with the manufacturing extended mod, it seems like it might be a little far-fetched to be able to do so, considering how large this facility is, and the fact that I would need 22 hoppers. There's no way I would be able to build something that massive and stay within the boundaries of the settlement, except for maybe on Spectacle Island. That one's a pretty big one. I haven't done anything with Spectacle Island just for the fact of the matter that it's extremely large and a little bit overwhelming. The boundaries of that particular settlement. Anyway, I'm heading out of here. I was going to swing over to the ammunition facility and get some footage of that and how I built that one. And well, that's all for now. Thank you.